And at this time, we'll call the meeting to order, and we will start with our invocation and pledge of allegiance from Pastor Charlotte Hill with Love and Hugs Christian Tabernacle. You just come right there, where you on that side. Or that side, yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody looks so happy and so calm and so cool, so fresh and so clean. Amen. We're just gonna bless this city and bless the people. And all in favor, just bow your heads. Father God, we come this morning with an open heart and an open mind to handle the business of this county. And Father God, we ask you to let your Holy Spirit rain down on these people that's under the sound of my voice. Not just the sound of my voice, but the whole city of Rockdale County. Lord, give them a thought, give them a gift, give them what they need to run this the way it's supposed to be run. And all that's in leadership, give them a double dose of your knowledge. Father God, and we promise to look toward the hill from which cometh our help, because surely it comes from you. And Lord, we have not, you say, because we ask not. So we ask right now that you keep us in the palm of your hand, that no man can scratch us out. Use us to be glorified in your name. Teach us how to love one another. And if we become union to one another, we'll learn how to work together, pray together, and stay together. Use us right now. Use us right now, from the back to the front. Give us everything that we need for this meeting this day. And Lord, we promise to give you all the praise and all of the glory. You said we have not because we ask not. But we asking right now for unification. That everything you have for us in this city, that we'll be able to work it and work it well. In your Son Jesus Christ's name. And all agreeing with this prayer ought to be able to just say amen.
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 And amen. Give God a hand clap of praise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Again, we have more people coming in, so if you could move in so that we could have more guests join us, that would be great. At this time, we have special recognitions and presentations. Director Tony Holmes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good morning. This is a lovely view. A different view, but definitely a lovely view. So I am super excited this morning. We are celebrating, it's that time of year again. We're going to be recognizing 11 individuals, and we're going to be recognizing them for 20 years of service, 25 years of service, and 30 years of service this morning. Super excited. What I do want to do before we get started, we're going to go ahead and play a video. So we'll put all of the lovely faces on the screen first, so you'll be able to take a look, and then we're going to call them up one by one. We're going to have remarks from their leadership team, our 2025 Service Awards. So I'm sure you guys recognize some of these faces. Aww. Snowing. We know who that is. Oh, wow. These are our 25 years. Have one person there. And we have two individuals that we're going to be recognizing for 30 years of service. Yes. Awesome. And thank you guys. And just so you know, they actually sent us those photographs, so they weren't candid. We actually asked them to send them. So lovely, lovely pictures. What we're going to do a little bit different this year, we're going to recognize our 30-year first. They have definitely stepped out. They do have to get back to court. So we're going to start with our 30-year employees first. And the first one I'm going to call up is going to be Miss Katie Wright, who has been actually over 30 years this year. I want to say it's actually 30, going on 34, 33 right now. 33 years of service. Miss Katie Wright, who is with Superior Court right now. So we're going to call her up and recognize her for 30 years of service. And Katie, we're going to have Judge Wood come up and make some comments as well.
Nothing beats experience and hard work. I'm very excited to be here to celebrate with Katie. 30 plus years, how many? 33 years serving as a court reporter in our county. Nothing beats hard work and experience. So we are just so grateful to have her, and she's young and she's not slowing down. So congratulations.
It's been great working for the county this long. I love being a court reporter here, and I wouldn't want to work anywhere else.
Okay. All right. The next person, and she's not here this morning, but we do want to go ahead and recognize her, and Judge Wood is going to receive on her behalf. And we do have Sharon McGuire, who has also served Rockdale County for over 30 years this morning. So Judge Wood is going to receive her certificate on her behalf. And I also, we can give her a round of applause. Don't know if she's watching from home, but we want to definitely make sure that we recognize Ms. Sharon McGuire as well. Judge Wood, you will receive that, and then if you would like to make some comments on Ms. McGuire.
I know Sharon would love to be here if she could. Sharon has a wealth of experience and expertise. She is my go-to. I could not ask for a better and more experienced staff attorney. Sharon started with Rockdale County, having experience working as a clerk for a higher appellate court. And so when she came to Rockdale County, she had experience doing the job that she's been doing now. She started under Judge Sidney Nation. And she had the opportunity to serve for a period of time with Judge Irwin as well as Judge Mumford. And last but not least, certainly not least, Sharon will continue to serve as staff attorney for me. So we are just so grateful to have her experience and her expertise in our office. And I know if she were here, she would have some great stories to tell about what it's like to be staff attorney in Rockdale County Superior Courts for 30 years.
Thank you, thank you. And next up, we would like to call up our Chief Superior Court Judge. This is Miss Judge Nancy Bills. Ladies and gentlemen, 30 years of service. Judge Bills, I'm going to present this for you, but I definitely would like for you to make some comments, and then I'm going to allow our commissioners to make comments as well. So.
Well, I very much appreciate this. That is so nice. I've had 20 years on the bench serving the county, and I was an assistant DA for 10 years prior to that. I have never worked anywhere other than Rockdale County. I will never work anywhere other than Rockdale County. I have loved the people I have served with, my office, my husband, everybody that's always supported me. I can't thank you enough. Go way back with Mr. Begg to the DA's office. I've known Sherry and all the people that had the 30 years since I came, and we are really fortunate to have such committed people, such great public servants, so I am honored to be among them. Thank you so much.
I'd like to congratulate all of those who have reached the milestones for employment with Rockdale County today. I especially want to thank all of those in court services who have dedicated their life to their work, and for all of our awardees today. Just thank you for the dedication you have to excellence in Rockdale, and we hope you will continue to mentor those around you to build a legacy of strength in our employees. And so we appreciate your dedication. And Judge Bills, thank you for all that you've done for our community. The court system is a vital part of service in our community, and so we are fortunate not only to have our traditional court system, but also all of our specialty courts that really help strengthen the lives of many of our residents in the community. So we appreciate you.
So the first thing that popped into my head when I thought about Judge Bills was the accountability courts, and Chair Van Ness alluded to that service, but Judge Bills started the first accountability court here in Rockdale County. That they have provided a huge service to our residents and given many people opportunities to reset their lives and become full citizens again and participants in our community. The other thing, she's also worked really hard in helping to set up our Stepping Up initiative, which is the accountability courts are part of that Stepping Up initiative, which is the goal of that is to keep people with mental health issues and substance abuse issues out of the court system and into treatment instead. And it works hand in hand with what Judge Bills is doing. I also want to point out that she actually helped to mentor a mutual friend of ours who is now an interim executive director for Governor Kemp, and that is Ian Caraway. If you knew Ian, he worked here a number of years ago and worked with Judge Bills, and so she's well-rounded. She's cares about the people that she works with. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you to all our honorees, and congratulations on the service that you've given to our citizens here in Rockdale County. I don't have much history with Judge Bills, but you do have a legacy that I am aware of. So thank you so much for all that you pour into Rockdale County, and thank you for all of you for choosing Rockdale County to share your talents with.
So we're going to call up, we're going to skip around a little bit, and I would like to now call up, and she actually just made her 20 years, and we spoke about this yesterday, and she sent a lovely picture in very quickly. So I now would like to call up, and she talked, did you say you were the original Tammy Myers? She said the original. I'm going to call up Miss Tammy Myers, 20 years of service from the Superior Court. Tammy Myers. You're welcome. You've got to make some comments.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Judge Bills, for hiring me so many years ago. And I really appreciate everything that Rockdale County has done for my family, having a great job to go to and being able to, work with such a great family back there. Hi, you guys. Okay. That's enough. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I just want to say on behalf of the county, thank you to Tammy. And she's the original because I actually had two Tammy Myers working for me at one time. So she is the original Tammy Myers. If you know her, you know there's no one like her. She is the most amazing. She is my go-to person, my right-hand woman. And she is, we just talked about it yesterday, she is the jelly to my peanut butter. So peas and carrots, whatever you want. We're a team and we're sticking together. So thank you, Tammy. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we are now going to shift to our 25 years. We'll go in that order right now. And I do see him in the audience, and the fire chief is here to make some comments. So for 25 years of service, I'm going to say James, or is it Jamie, or which do you prefer? Jamie, James. Mr. Coggins, come on up. 25 years of service. Chief Robinson.
I'd like to start by congratulating Jamie Coggins for 25 years, and Jamie is currently serving as our maintenance logistics manager, but that's not where he started his career. He actually spent 21 years faithfully serving the citizens of Rockdale County on a fire apparatus. He was able to transition to the maintenance manager, but he was a lieutenant on the truck for a lot of years. So I've worked with Jamie for 18 of his 25 years, and it's been a good road for both of us. So we appreciate all of his service and his dedication to Rockdale County.
I'm no public speaker, but thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay. Now we are here for our 20 years of service. And the first person I'm going to call up, and we are excited that she's here. She actually came in. I know she's off this morning, but we appreciate her being here. This was important, and we definitely think it's important as well. I'm going to call up Miss Investigator Colleen Jones from the Sheriff's Office. As you can see, her team is here as well. So she made it in, and we definitely appreciate that. Colleen has been with Rockdale County Sheriff's Office for 20 years of service. So.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Captain Figueroa with the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office. I'm captain over the Criminal Investigation Division, where Investigator Jones works. I actually had the privilege to work with her as an investigator a few years ago. She provided a lot of insight, gave us a lot of experience that you just can't replace with 20 years. I mean, she's done a great job with domestic violences, helping victims out, things like that. She's very invaluable up there. We love having her in there. And now being a captain, she was one of the first ones to come and really accept me in that role and kind of help us out with that. So I do appreciate it. And, I definitely wanted to say congratulations. I wanted to make sure we were all out here to support her today. So thank you all very much.
I don't have a lot to say. I don't know a lot of people in here except for the people that I normally work with. My chief is back there, some of the other people, and Judge Bills and Tammy Myers have left, so, and I know a communication officer back there. But I thank everybody for being here and for supporting me, and I just hope I can stay another few years.
Congratulations. This next person we want to recognize, and he was not able to make it today, I believe. 20 years of services, actually in fleet services, and that is Mr. Jerry Scott Taylor, but he goes by Scott Taylor. He goes by Scott. And it actually is an ADP listed that way. So when I pulled it up, it said Jerry, but it said Scott. So we appreciate 20 years of services in general services. And Andrew Hammer is here to receive that award. I see Mr. Urbina coming up to receive it as well on behalf of Scott Taylor, 20 years of service. So, and we will allow you to make comments on behalf of Mr. Taylor.
Well, I'll just say 20 years. If you've driven a vehicle for Rockdale County, Scott's probably worked on that vehicle. He's one of the hardest working mechanics we have. And Jose, do you want to say a few more words about him?
Well, thank you for everybody's time. Scott is customer service with a smile. He's present, able, and always willing to do the work. I wish we have like 10 more Scotts on the shop, but we don't have that many spots. But he's been a blessing to us, and we are grateful for him, for what he does for us, for the team. He's a big influence in the morale of the team, and we love him, and we share with him. This time he's a little camera shy. Humble man. So I'm in here on his behalf and behalf of the Fleet Department and Deputy Director Swift. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it, and God bless.
We can send it to him. Photoshop. 20-year pen. Those pens are valuable. All right. Okay. And this next person, she's been standing, so she's waiting on her turn right now, you guys. She's ready. Excited, and we're excited for her. Miss Noemi Hayes, who currently works in EMA. She has worked in other departments, and so we're excited. 20 years of service, Noemi Hayes.
You have a loud cheering section.
You're welcome.
Good morning. I'm Sharon Webb, Director of EMA, which Noemi works with now. And as Director Holmes says, she has served in different capacities in the county, but I'd say I'm the lucky one now because she serves with us in EMA. And I've been almost a year in EMA, and she's been my saving grace. Noemi is one that if she can't find it, she's going to find it. She is the most determined, accountable, dependable person I've ever met, and loving and caring as well as nurturing. So I greatly appreciate you. I know our staff greatly appreciate you for everything you do, and congratulations, and you're not going anywhere else because you're stuck with me.
I want to thank God first and foremost. 20 years, 3 departments, several directors, several chairperson, several co-workers. But I'm thankful. I'm here, and thank you for everybody. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. All right, now this last department, I guess I'm going to piggyback on what Director Hammer said. So if you've ever been paid by Rockdale County, then you probably know these individuals as well. So these last 3 individuals working directly out of our finance team, all 3 of them 20 years of service. And again, you could say they're behind the scenes, unsung heroes, but I don't even know if they're behind the scenes at all. I think they're actually in front of the scenes, and definitely I've had an opportunity to work with all of these amazing individuals. If you call the county, you probably definitely hear this person's voice first and foremost, and this is Mrs. Kim Hyman, Finance, 20 years of service. So Kim, you can come on up. And I'm going to have Narinder come up here as well. Interim CFO, I'm going to put you on the spot. I didn't prepare you, but if you want to come down as well. Ms. Chief Sanders. I'm also going to call up our Senior Accounting Manager, Mrs. Sherry Stallworth from Finance, 20 years of service. Come on up. And again, Bill Vaughn, worked with him on multiple occasions. And I want to say, again, behind the scenes, but definitely not behind the scenes, over our budgeting process, analyst process. Bill Vaughn, William Vaughn, UGA fan, both of you guys, UGA fans, go Dogs, yeah. 20 years of service, Bill Vaughn, Finance. Come on up. So I am going to allow Narinder and then maybe our interim CFO to make some comments, and then we'll definitely have comments from the 3 of you. So Narinder, if you can, you write a speech?
No, because I know multiple languages, then I move, that's why. Good morning. 20 years ago, Sherry, Bill, and Kim began a journey with the county. Since then, you have witnessed changes, growth, and challenges. But your loyalty remained constant. You are the heart of the finance department. On behalf of the entire leadership team, I would like to express our deepest gratitude. Thank you for your hard work, commitment, and belief. Thank you.
Good morning. So Kim and Sherry and Bill definitely are staples for Rockdale County. I've worked here for over 20 years myself and dealt with them in a myriad of ways. So as a director, as a deputy director, and all those facets, and all 3 of them are very helpful. Kim particularly is the first face you see when you enter the administration building every day. And so she is always there with a smile, greeting everyone. Bill's the quiet one up in finance that gets the things done. And then Sherry is always a smiling face. I see her on the parking lot every morning. So just these are the constants, right? In finance, that's really important, that you have the longevity and the key people that keep things rolling. So we definitely appreciate them. So thank you.
So I have had the pleasure of working with all 3 of them years ago when I served, and it's nice to come back to the great stability that they've provided and the processes that they keep going. And I can tell you that during different political leadership, that doesn't matter to them, and so it's great that they have continued to be diligent in the work that they do and have great attention to detail, because that is a necessity. And so we are very, very grateful for all 3 of you. Thank you.
Speaker, but
She is my employee, so I will talk about Kim. She's a wonderful employee. She has the patience of a saint sitting there, and she has to deal with everybody that comes in the door. So she always has a pleasant attitude, and she's very, very dependable. And
That is so true.
Yeah, I think I would just like to say that I'm thankful for all the people that I've learned from over the years. I won't try to name them, but I think about them often, and thankful for the opportunity of the people that I've worked with over the years. Thank you.
Oh, now y'all want to do it. Let's do it.
At least we'll be rotating in the correct way.
Hey, someone drop a pen. All right. Well, Madam Chair, Commissioners, that does conclude our recognition. Again, we recognized 11 amazing employees, 20 years of service, 25 years of service, and 30 years of service. If we can give them one more round of applause for their dedicated service to Rockdale County. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right. Next, we have Sue Sanders.
All right, good morning, Madam
Morning.
Chair and Commissioners. So, Public Relations, here we go, pulling up the budget report. So what you have before you is the June budget to actual report. All budgets should have 50% remaining. Overall, we're trending well with 53.41% remaining for the general fund, which is a little less than 3.5% of where we should be ending the month of June. Departments in blue are trending slightly above, but there are no concerns at this time. Departments in green have spent less to date in 2025 than they did in 2024 for the same time period. Those departments are Board of Commissioners, Elections, Public Relations, Animal Services, Fire Rescue, EMA, Planning and Development, and Cooperative Extension. Enterprise budgets are also trending well and almost 18% ahead of the ideal remaining percentage. Finance continues to monitor the budgets closely as we move throughout the remainder of the year. Do you have any questions?
I don't, but I like the ones in green especially.
I knew
I
you
know
would.
everybody
I knew you would.
can't achieve that goal yet, but we're working on it to be responsible to our
Yes.
taxpayers. So thank you very much. All right, at this time, we have Deputy Director Susan Morgan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Susan Morgan, Deputy Director of Senior Services and Parks and Recreation. Good morning, Madam Chair and the Commissioners. And today I would like to announce a new program offered by Rockdale County. This program is called Memory Cafe and is an initiative started under the leadership of Commissioner Dr. Doreen Williams. In Georgia, we feel the impact with more than 188,000 persons aged 65 and older that are affected with Alzheimer's disease. Additionally, tens of thousands of other forms of dementia and memory decline affect people even at younger ages. Caregivers play a key role and vital role in our community. Our goal with Memory Cafe is to provide support for those caregivers that are facing this health challenge within their family. Memory Cafe is a once-a-month program that will operate at the J.P. Carr Community Center from 3 to 5 and provides an opportunity for caregivers and their loved ones with dementia to enjoy a relaxed time that shares resources and support for each other. Each session of Memory Cafe will include networking, an interactive activity, education, and refreshments. We would like to warmly welcome the public to our kickoff, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, August the 13th at 3 p.m. at the J.P. Carr Community Center. The kickoff will include guest speakers from the Sheriff's Office, Georgia Emergency Rescue, and present caregivers. I'd like to thank the board for their support of this program.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
No, but I have some comments.
Okay.
So about a year ago, Deputy Director Morgan and I were able to go to Roswell and participate in a Memory Cafe afternoon that they were having up there. And so we were both really excited about the opportunities for those living with dementia and their caregivers to be able to come together. I watched and participated with several different couples. Mostly it was wives who were with their husbands. The wives needed so desperately to visit with each other and share experiences. The husbands were enjoying the activities, and they were funny, they were making jokes, and it was really a really fun time, and I'm super excited that Susan has taken this on and we are now able to offer this in Rockdale County. There aren't too many around, and so I hope to see many of you there tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Next, we have public comment, and we do have information from our county clerk that she'd like to share with you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This morning, I just wanted to remind everyone there are a couple, well, at least one item that's on the agenda for a second read this morning that is going through the public hearing process. That public hearing process has concluded, so we won't be able to take comments if you're signed up to speak about the second reading, which would be in reference to Shepherd's Crossing. We will open up the floor as soon as we get to new business for public comment on impact fees and capital improvement elements this morning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, very good. And before public comment, I'd just like to share a couple of thoughts. I'll let you know that the city and the school board have made some announcements about their decision. And as a board, we have worked at the BOC, we've worked very hard in a collective spirit with the rest of the leadership in the county to try and work diligently to reduce expenses, wasteful spending, and to be streamlined in some of our services. And so as we continue to drill down, you'll notice that the information that was presented to you today on this worksheet is something that's really beneficial for our citizens to look at because this information is something that we haven't necessarily done every single month like we are doing now. And the intent is for you as citizens to be able to track that spending. You'll notice on our agenda items, we tell you where different spending items are coming from. So it gives you a little bit more knowledge than you've had in the past, and we hope that's been beneficial. So I do know that we are working hard to reduce the number that we had for millage last year, and so we will work towards having some hearings and more information as the days come. All right, so first we will start with Walter Bannister.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Post Commissioner 1 and Post Commissioner 2. This morning, I'd like to just address a little bit about the taxes. First of all, things here in Rockdale County are rather quiet on social media, as well as within the county, and that's a positive thing. You look on social media, you don't really see anything that's going on that's pertinent, where a lot of people are actually in a uproar. But we had a meeting last week, last Saturday, and I could not make the meeting over at the library regarding with the Board of Assessors to include the Superior Court judge regarding taxes, because we were in a HOA meeting with a couple of homeowners associations within Rockdale County. But what I'd like to do is I just want to address just a few issues, and one thing is we call this the new normal. Never coming up to you with an issue that we don't have any type of resolution actually for it. The information that I have here is from the Georgia.gov website. Rockdale County has the median effective property tax, which quite a people know, of 1.51%. I don't know if anybody, actually a lot of people know exactly what that means, but the rate is actually higher than both the national median, which is 1.02%, and the Georgia state median average, which is 1.08. With this particular rate, it's placing a significant tax burden on many of the property owners here in Rockdale County. Rockdale County is ranked amongst the highest rate in the state of Georgia. We actually understand that the drivers of those rates are the real estate, the school system, as well as the county M&O. Only thing we ask is for the creative thinking, utilizing the right hemisphere to streamline those things and maybe to spread those taxes out. There's allegedly some companies are actually coming in here within the county to actually relieve some of the tax burden. When you're looking at the actual rate, home values, to give you an example, home value at $200K, if you're looking at the 0.51%, you add you multiply that, and then you come up with basically about $3,000 US for the taxes for someone with a 200K home based on real estate. I got a couple of resources from Redfin. The market here in Georgia is shifting. The market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. So we asked the Board of Assessors to start looking at those things as far as looking at the shift in the market rate.
Madam Chair, Mr. Bannister, I apologize, but that's 3 minutes.
Okay. Just last but not least, underneath the Nevada Real Estate Commission, they actually have a which is dated 17 July 2025. Is that Atlanta is actually Atlanta and the suburbs of Atlanta is actually the highest market in the state, and they're actually looking at a forecast for the whole entire real estate market in the state of Georgia to actually crash. Basically, they didn't give any particular numbers, but we'd like for the Board of Commissioners to actually take a look at that, because once the real estate crashed, then we're going to be in a situation that we were in basically 2008. People with mortgages, they're going to be in an upside down
We
mortgage.
constantly do research and get information, but thank you for your comments today. We will take them into consideration.
All right, thank you very much.
You. All right, next we have George Kelichek.
Good morning, Chair, Commissioners, citizens. George Kelichek, Rockdale Soil Water Conservation District. Thought it'd be important to come here today. I was supposed to be in Atlanta with the Atlanta Regional Commission and our Metro Atlanta Water Planning District. I want to address two things on the agenda from a cost-saving standpoint. Number one is agenda item 2025-390. I've talked with Stormwater Director Simpkins in these regards. I would like this agenda item to be tabled. And the reason being is Commissioner Smith and I went to Silt Saver a few weeks ago, which is the industry leader in environmental erosion and control products. And they have several new products that would actually save, in the long run, the county and developers and builders regarding erosion control. And I'll make one specific item. If you were to go to Johnson Road and Flat Shoals and look at that old technology, which is black silt fence and riprap, the new technology that Silt Saver has now, and which has been designated as a product for utilization in the state by the Georgia Soil Water Conservation Commission, it would look a lot nicer. It would be less expensive because you have to store riprap, you have to haul riprap, you have to continue to put it in. But this new products that they have would not have those items to have to go over again and again and again. So I'd ask you to table that decision until Terrence Simpkins and Kimbry Peak can go to Silt Saver and actually sit with the owner and the sales manager and do a tour so they can actually look at these new products. Secondly, 2025-388, $102,900 to dismantle the Lorraine Park Playground out of a flood zone. Well, planning and development, Rockdale Soil Water Conservation District, Georgia Soil Water Conservation District has these maps. Why was that not looked at when this park was originally set up? I mean, it's $102,900. That's a complete waste of taxpayer money. So as we move forward, when we look at these types of projects, I will ask that we do our due diligence and spend the money correctly the first time. I've got many other items to address, but I'll leave those for another meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next we have Leslie Lambert.
Let me correct the mic here. Good morning, Chairwoman.
Good morning.
Commissioners. I'm here today about taxes and while you're doing your budgets. The first gentleman appealed with numbers. I'm going to appeal with your hearts. My mortgage went up $900. So that's 50%. Now, you can say, I should have done this, I should have done that, but I'm lucky enough to be in position to take care of some of that. But I think there's many people who are not. And I just ask that when I know you're trying your best, I've had conversations, I understand. I just ask when you set your head down on that pillow at night, that it bother you, that it disturb you enough to really try to buckle down. Because there's going to be people who lose their homes. They're going to be on those courthouse steps. There's going to be people with the rise in food, the other rises that are occurring, that are going to continue to occur. Went and got my oil changed. Last time I did it was $60. This time I did it was $98 because the price of oil is up. And he is I've used him forever. So I'm just asking you, when you lay your head down at night, because you're all in this boat too, can I do more? Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the public comment. Now I'll go to approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda as published.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes for July 22nd, 2025, August 5th, and August 6th, as well as August 7th from 2025.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. At this time, there's no unfinished business, so we will move to item 8, new business.
So item 365 is the notice of public hearing, and while I'm reading this out, I'll call up Ms. Paige Hatley, who is the consultant for the impact fees and the capital improvements element. So notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the public hearing shall be held at the Rockdale County Assembly Hall at 901 Main Street, Conyers, on Tuesday, August 12, 2025 at 10 a.m. before the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners to consider a resolution transmitting the draft Capital Improvements Element 2025 Annual Update Report to the Atlanta Regional Commission for regional and state review per the requirements of State Development Impact Fee compliance requirements adopted pursuant to the Georgia Planning Act of 1989. Said public hearing will be held in accordance with Section 9A of Chapter 110-12-2-.04 of the state's Development Impact Fee compliance requirements. Any persons wishing to be heard on the draft capital improvements elements for 2025 annual update report are invited to attend and to speak at this hearing this morning. I will let Ms. Hatley briefly go over, and then if there's anyone signed up to speak, we'll open the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, and good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. My name is Paige Hatley. I am with Hatley Plans, and I provide assistance on an as-needed basis to the county on matters pertaining to its impact fee program, or development impact fees for the full formal name. Impact fees are a one-time fee that's collected from new development to help pay to expand county services, and specifically pertaining to parks and recreation, library services, and fire protection services. The idea being that as new growth and development comes online, the county's in a position to expand services to accommodate that development, and this fee provides an additional funding source to allow the county to expand needed services to residents and employees. Now, each year, the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, or DCA, mandates of all communities that collect impact fees in the state that they prepare an annual update report, in essence providing a status as to the past fiscal year, what was collected in impact fees, what was spent, and then what's available in the fund to spend on future approved impact fee eligible projects. In addition to the financial report, the second component that's required by the state is a 5-year work program. It's a rolling work program where each year we take off a year and add a year, where DCA wants to know in the near term what's expected to be implemented in terms of parks and recreation, fire protection, and library service projects. And so this year's 5-year table covers the years 2026 to 2030. As mentioned, there is a public hearing that's required for the process that would initiate after the public hearing. Immediately after the public hearing, the board would then contemplate a transmittal resolution to authorize the draft report to move forward to the Atlanta Regional Commission and DCA to initiate the review process. The state has to approve the report, at which time that approved document comes back before you for adoption. That has to be done by October 31st, which is why we're here now. It gives us about a 2-month window, ample time for the state to do their review and us to respond to any comments, if any. And then at the end of it all, the final approved document and adoption resolution goes back to the state, and then they can authorize extending your qualified local government, or QLG status. And the QLG status would enable the county to participate in or be eligible for certain state loan and grant programs. So it's a very brief document. Forgive the lengthy overview, but I wanted to offer those words as an introduction to the public hearing, and of course happy to entertain any questions by the board at the appropriate time.
Ms. Hadley, can you talk about the cost for this process?
The cost for the impact fees in general?
No, your fee.
I don't have my exact contract in front of me. If we have I can give you a ballpark figure.
That would be great.
I think 5,000.
Okay. And that's funded out of the impact fees?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a provision for that,
That's
correct?
the state can collect, or by state law, you're authorized to collect up to 3% to cover administrative fees, and that's inclusive of professional services or for staff salaries, et cetera, as needed, anything that's needed to administer the impact fee program.
Very good.
So, Madam Chair, did you have anyone signed up to speak? I did not receive any comment cards for this item.
I did not.
Okay. All right, does the board have any questions or discussion before we take up the transmittal resolution?
I'll probably have questions afterwards.
After the resolution?
Only because I'm interested, I know that the board's been interested in talking about changing some of the percentages and funding options. So do you want us to talk about it now or after the transmittal?
I think if we can just go ahead and do the transmittal and
Okay.
close that out, then happy to discuss that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, so the item before the board would be a transmittal resolution for the capital improvements element 2025 annual update from Rockdale County, Georgia.
I move to approve the resolution as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All in favor, yes,
Yes.
so
And then you
motion
had
carries. I
questions about
apologize.
just impact fees in general, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, all right. Would you like to start that discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have discussed looking at additional categories. The state law allows various public facility categories to be examined and included in an impact fee program. And currently, that includes all public safety. So anything from EMA to sheriff to fire, E911, animal control, anything that falls under public safety is eligible. Libraries are eligible, parks and recreation are eligible. Road projects, to the extent that they add capacity, can be eligible, meaning not potholes, not maintenance or repairs. It's anything that's being done to expand your system to accommodate additional people coming in to your community. Water and sewer and stormwater are also eligible, but typically those are addressed separately. A stormwater utility, for example, that is in essence an impact fee. Stormwater utilities can also be collected for maintenance. Impact fees cannot. They cannot be used for any maintenance projects. So stormwater utility is a better bet there. And then any community that's in the water and sewer business, if they're collecting a fee as it stands to provide their service and expand water and sewer capacity, then that's already an impact fee. And so the balance of communities that have an impact fee program such as the county is looking at everything else. Well, if water and sewer can collect fees, well, what about other public facilities that are needed to expand to accommodate a growing community? So as mentioned, the county currently only looks at 3 categories. As of 2019, when we last updated the impact fee program to revisit projects that are eligible to serve growth over the next 20 years, as well as the fees that would be appropriate to help pay for those projects. And that's only for libraries, parks, and fire. And so we have been in discussions with staff to look at expanding the topics that are covered to help bring in potentially additional funds to cover a broader array of public facilities. And specifically, we were looking at law enforcement and sheriff's office, jail, as well as road projects that may qualify.
Okay, very good.
So I'm particularly interested in what we saw up in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, and a small percentage of those impact fees went towards, they have what they call a mural project, and it went to murals all around the city. So what is the scope of that? I personally would like to see a percentage for art projects, public art projects in the county.
Unfortunately, that's not the type of project allowed under state law. The Development Impact Fee Act has been in place since 1990 and really hasn't expanded the scope in terms of what can qualify for impact fee funds. Solid waste, for example, can't be covered. Education can't be covered, which of course there's the eSPLOST now for some communities. But it really relates to the ability to provide a public service in terms of, and it's predominantly brick and mortar projects. So think fire stations and heavy vehicles, fire trucks, mobile command centers, playgrounds, ball fields. What are the actual capital projects that have to have a service life of at least 10 years in accordance to state law those that we're hemmed in, if you will, by what the state prescribes. And in order to comply with state law, we have to ensure that monies are spent on delineated projects. And at this point in time, the state has not broadened the scope to include such things, as you mentioned, unfortunately.
Because those add to quality of life.
Yes, ma'am. No, I totally get it. But as it stands, the most that we've been able to do in past years is to have them agree that yes, animal control applies, because in the past that wasn't perceived to be truly public safety, and then also paving dirt roads, but we can't get them to agree that filling potholes qualifies.
So who would I need to talk to if I wanted to look at the state level and see if there was any interest among state legislators?
That's a great question. The Georgia Department of Community Affairs, they administer the program, and it may not hurt just sort of at a more of an internal staff level. That might be a good starting approach. Okay. To then discuss, looking at it from a political perspective and gaining traction to make any changes. That might be something looking at. Trying to think, Julie Yoder is individual I often interface with, but I would have to see who her superior is, though. I think there's someone above her.
Okay.
So that's one suggestion. Sure. Happy to discuss further, though.
Thank you.
Ms. Hadley, can you talk about other communities that you've done work for and some of the things that they've done with their percentages?
So let me start with the percentages.
Okay.
Every category that's studied when we revisit an impact fee program, starting from scratch, every category is studied on its own. And in essence, it's a mini study is done for parks, a mini study is done for fire, et cetera. And so a fee that is arrived at is based on what are the projected needs for that public facility category? How many more fire stations? How many more fire trucks, for example? What are the associated costs of those items? What's the projected population that's going to be served by those items? And then we come down to a per unit fee, in essence, a per square foot fee for commercial and non-residential, and a per dwelling unit fee to be paid. So everything is dependent on how much more of that particular category or service is needed, and what does it cost, and then how is that cost going to be spread across the service area, the folks receiving services. So there is no one, if you look at a community, and Parks and Recreation typically has the largest percentage, because that is those are comprehensive, expansive systems, a lot of moving parts that have high price tags. And so typically they comprise the largest percentage of an impact fee program, but you only know that when you work backwards at the end of it and you say, here's your total. Oh, and it just so happens, working backwards, Parks is getting 40% as opposed to 5 other categories, for example. So it's not uncommon in communities I've worked with for Parks and Recreation, that subcategory to have a higher fee. And then public safety in general, it just depends on how many categories are being evaluated. Fire systems can be incredibly expensive. Jails can be incredibly expensive and a higher potential fee. Currently working in Clayton County, we're close to finishing their inaugural study. Also working in updates, trying to think in the metro area, for several North Fulton cities, and then South Fulton cities are new studies. But as far as Clayton County, for example, I think probably has maybe 8 or 9 categories all told. They're doing just about everything except roads. And also I want to mention that any time that an impact fee study is done, there's a maximum fee that's calculated. And then it's up to the elected officials to deliberate and decide, well, what should the fee be?
Right.
So just because a fee could be up here doesn't mean that that's palatable and what's fair or what would be something that would be readily accepted in a particular community. Sorry, I'm thinking there's a lot of different components to impact fees to get into, so forgive me for going off on some tangents. But Clayton County is the most recent example at the county level. Liberty County, which is, of course, on the coast, we're wrapping up their impact fee study as well. And I'm having trouble off the top of my head thinking of other county examples
okay.
right at the immediate time.
Okay. All right. Can you talk about, I'm interested in, for the sheriff's department, because I know that you said there has to be a 10-year life for whatever we're talking about. What could be, typically, what do you see for a sheriff's department that can be funded?
So that would be any building projects, and it doesn't matter if it's training or storage or detention facilities, evidence storage, anything undercover, anything that's needed to support their ability to provide a service to the community.
Okay.
And then typically patrol fleet is not due to the wear and tear, and so we look at specialized heavy vehicles, any mobile command units, SWAT vans, vans to transport prisoners. If for other communities that have a lot of water, boats, rescue boats, etc.
Okay.
So anything that not computers, not office furniture, but heavy vehicles and equipment, and then buildings are what are most common.
All right. And for animal services?
That would be, again, buildings space. And then the animal control trucks and transport boxes, those are the two.
Okay. And once you get the study finished, when can it be enacted?
So what would happen is you'd keep collecting impact fees as you are, and then we're at the point if there would have to be a new capital improvements element. This little report that we just went over is based on a 2019 CIE. That is the master document that established all of the impact fee eligible projects for a 2-decade period. So we would prepare an amendment. In essence, it would be a brand new CIE, but technically it's an amended CIE. And once that's adopted, that's now the new slate of projects that impact fees can be spent on. Once that's being reviewed by the state, we would come back and say, well, what are the fees going to be needed to pay for those projects? And then ultimately at the end of the process, which from A to Z can take up to a year. It just depends on how much deliberation is needed. We'll have to create an advisory committee that's inclusive of the development community to weigh in because we're adding categories and it's a major update to the program. And then ultimately, there would be a new CIE with new projects and a new fee schedule that would amend your current development impact fee ordinance. And once those two are in place, the 2019 CIE and its associated fee schedule would be replaced. So you have a seamless transition to new projects and fees, but you have these major steps that have to be done in order to get there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions? No. All right. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you for
Hadley.
the time. I'm sorry I overstayed my welcome, but thank you.
No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, the cost for that was $4,700 for this portion.
That was pretty close. Okay.
Might I add, you're doing a great job as the interim financial officer.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Are we
Do I need a motion?
I think we did that. Remember?
Yeah, we've
already did that. Okay. All right.
On to item 366, which is with pay scale through the Human Resources Department for cloud-based compensation management platform. This is change order number 4 to contract 2019-93. The amount is $8,000. This is for 1 year through the general fund and is a budgeted item.
Madam Chair, I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 367 is with Onika Douglas through the Superior Court to facilitate yoga 12-step recovery program. The amount is $25 per participant per session, and an amount not to exceed $35,000. This is for 1 year. This is grant funded and is a budgeted item.
I move to approve the contract as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? No? Okay. Do we know how often this class is taking place?
Let's see.
It says,
I'm sorry, it's on the second and fourth Saturdays of each month, and they've got them separated for a men's class and a women's class.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
That program is part of the accountability courts.
Okay, very good.
Looking at a whole wellness.
A more holistic approach.
Holistic approach, yes.
Very good.
And also, Madam Chair and Commissioners, would you like to take any of these items collectively or individually?
Yes, I think that would be great.
All right, so item 368 is with Robert Maddox and John Nix through the General Services Department. This is a lease amendment for the Accountability Court to add 2 offices. It's change order number 1 to contract 2023-35. It's to increase the monthly rent amount from $3,100 to $4,000 per month through March 31st, 2026. This is to the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 369 is with CPL Architects, Engineers, and Landscape Architects, DPC, for the Planning and Development Department for the Unified Development Ordinance update. This is the scope and project schedule revision only. It's change order number 1 to contract 2025-17. This is no change in the cost, and the term is February 25th, 2025 through April 30th, 2026. Item 370 is with Newton County Fire Services to repeal contract 2018-72, and this contract was approved on May 22nd, 2018 through the Fire Rescue for the mutual aid agreement and replaced with Newton County, Georgia Fire Rescue through the Fire Rescue Department for the mutual aid and automatic aid agreement for emergency assistance. This is at no cost and is for 10 years with automatic annual renewals and not to exceed the amount of 50 years. Item 371 is with the City of Covington Fire Services to repeal contract 2018-73. The contract was approved on May 22nd, 2018 through the Fire Rescue Department for a mutual aid agreement and then replaced with a contract with the City of Covington for the Fire Rescue Department and our Fire Rescue Department for mutual aid agreement for emergency assistance at no cost for 10 years with automatic annual renewals not to exceed 50 years. Item 372 is with All South Constructors through the Water Resources Department to remove, rebuild, and install 2 high service pumps and motors at the water treatment plant. The amount is $115,700 plus a 10% contingency fee of $11,570 for a total of $127,270 for 180 days from the notice to proceed unless terminated. This is to the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. And then item 373 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Juvenile Court for Juvenile Justice Incentive Grant Award funds for continuation of functional family therapy. The amount is $200,000, no matches required. The term is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and this is submitted for ratification. Would you like me to stop here?
So my question is, do we want to consider the ratifications all in one and the contracts all in one?
So I think my suggestion would be, because it looks like the next few will go together, so perhaps the board could take item 368 through 372 in one motion, and then we'll pick up.
Okay.
How about that?
I'd like to move that we approve contracts 368 to 372 as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
So we read out item 373, but item 374, 375, 376, 377, 378, 379 are all with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, and I believe they're all, the first couple are through the juvenile court. So item 374 is with the juvenile court for the court operating grant. This is for funds for the continuation of family treatment court in the amount of $59,156. The required match is $8,873, and the term is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. This is submitted for ratification. And item 375 is the court operating grant as well, but the funds for the continuation of the Juvenile Resource Court Program, the amount in this grant is $72,552. The required match is $10,883. The term is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and is also submitted for ratification. Item 376 is the operating grant for the funds for the continuation of the Juvenile Drug Court Program. The amount is $89,301.60. The required match is $13,395. The term is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and is submitted for ratification. Item 377 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the State Court 2. For the DUI Court Supervised Treatment Program, the amount is $102,858.94 with state funding match of $18,152 for a total of $121,010.94. The term is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and this is submitted for ratification. Item 378 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Superior Court 1. This is for the Adult Drug Court Grant. The amount is $265,774 with state funding match of $46,901 for a total of $312,675. The term is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and is submitted for ratification. And then item 379 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through Superior Court 2. This is for Adult Resource Court grants. The amount is $178,020 with state funding match of $31,415 for a total of $209,435. The term is July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and is submitted for ratification. So this would be items 373 through 379.
Madam Chair, I move that we ratify items 373 through 379.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 380 is with Ceres Environmental Services Incorporated through the Emergency Management Agency for debris removal and hauling during disasters on an as-needed basis. This is change order number 2. The contract 2023-130 is for a price increase of 2.3% through September 11th, 2026, and this is a budgeted item. Would you like me to keep going?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So item 381 is with Trinity Services Group Incorporated through the Sheriff's Office for jail food services. The amount is $728,340. The previous cost per meal was $1.80. The new cost is $1.83, and this is 1 year with renewals for 4 additional 1-year periods. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 382 is with Carasoft Technology Corporation, first due, through the Fire Rescue Department for additional modules and implementation configuration services for emergency reporting software. This is change order number 1 to contract 2023-176 in the amount of $14,281.51. It's a prorated term of August 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. After term 1 year with automatic renewals until terminated. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item and is submitted for ratification. Item 383 is with DocuSign through Technology Services for e-signatures for 5 members. The amount is $5,405.40. The term is August 4th, 2025 through August 3rd, 2026. This is through the general fund, is a budgeted item, and is submitted for ratification. Item 384 is with DocuSign through the Human Resources Department for e-signature for 10 members. The amount is $10,810.80. The term is August 4th, 2025 through August 3rd, 2026. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. This is submitted for ratification. So that concludes the contracts. Would you like to move on those items together?
So I move that we approve contracts did we start with 379 or we ended with
380?
380 and 381, and ratify contracts 382 through 384.
Oh, I'm sorry. I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 385 is a requisition through the Planning and Development Department for Safe Built for professional services for inspections, plan review, and building official services. The amount is $260,386.22. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Item 386 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for Engineering Design Technologies for the Almond Branch Sewer Upsizing, Construction Management, and Inspection Services for the next phase of the project. It's change order to the existing purchasing order. So the current PO amount is $202,260. This is a request to add $14,930 for the new PO total of $217,190. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item.
We're stopping there?
Oh, no.
I'm asking.
No, that's
Oh, okay,
unless
go
you want to stop.
I do want to
Okay.
stop at 388 though.
All right. Item 387 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for the Delta Municipal Supply. This is for 80 1-inch Neptune T10 meters e-coders for a radio read program. The amount is $46,948.80. This is SPLOST funded and is a budgeted item. Oh, yeah. I'm
You want to
sorry.
stop there and
Mhm.
approve those?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Madam Chair, I move that we approve requisitions 385 through 387.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. I do have a question. This says it's SPLOST funded for the Water Resources Department. Can you verify that?
Yes, that is from the 2017 SPLOST, and they had funds remaining, and that was their major project, was the meter,
I see.
yes, the
Okay.
meter replacement program.
Thank you for that.
You're
date.
welcome.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. The motion carries. And Madam
Okay.
Clerk, for the record, will you put on there the 2017 SPLOST funded?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And would you like for me to continue to go through these items
Yes.
collectively, or do you want them individually? Okay. Item 388 is a requisition through the General Services Department for Great Southern Recreation. This is to dismantle existing playground at Lorraine Park, grading and the prep for the new site to install existing equipment.
Madam Clerk, if you'll stop there for a moment. Director Hammer, can you come and explain?
Somehow I knew you'd have questions on
You
that
did,
one.
yes.
Would you like me to just give
Yeah,
what
just
we're doing?
explain the cost. for-
Okay, so good morning, by the way. So this is to there's three pieces of the playground equipment. They're located in the small temporary sediment basin that exists at the bottom of the park. Most of the park, about half the park, is already in the flood zone. When we installed this, Mr. Kelichek is correct. In hindsight, if we had known what was going to happen, we probably would have put this in a different location. We didn't know that at the time when it was installed in 2021, 2022. It was installed down in that temporary sediment basin. We didn't have very many issues with it over the years. It would rain, the basin would fill up just a little tiny bit, and then it would drain down. The playground would be fine. My kids played on it as well. The hurricane last year, Helene, kind of changed that, rerouted the bank of it, did a whole lot of damage to the park, and we're just now still performing some cleanup for that with Parks and Recreation. And in order to to not have that, the playground damaged in the future, be able to open it back up, they made a decision to move we're recommending the decision to move the playground equipment up to the top of the hill over near the pavilion and relocate it over there. They're reusing the existing equipment. So the playground structures themselves, we're not replacing those. Those are being reused. We're not paying twice for those. The vast majority of this cost is the labor in order to relocate it, also to take out the area that's around it, put down the border and mulch, and reestablish the playground in a different location.
Okay. And what are we doing about the kayak launches? Those will be a separate memo?
Yes, that's separate from this. We're looking at two different options because they were damaged and because we did use state grant money from Department of Natural Resources. We're working with them on a solution to provide the same service, the same accessibility along the river. We have an opportunity to make that a little more resilient. Again, we used unfortunately, we put it in at the wrong time. We had 4 rain events, and if you remember, I presented along with EMA and fire, I believe at the time, to the report on the different levels of the river and how it's changed over the years. We had a contract for renewing, for replacing that, for any repairs and maintenance. It's something they have to do annually for anything that's in the water anyway. About 2 months after I presented, I think the hurricane came in and swept the entire thing off. So the platforms are still in place. They were built nice and sturdy. They were in the river, but the ramping themselves was all 3 of the ramps were damaged. So we're working on a solution to put them back to provide that functionality for the kayak launch. Do it in a different way that still has accessibility, but might be a little sturdier.
Okay, and I think also during the hurricane, it changed kind of the course of the river to some degree.
Absolutely, it did. If you've gone out there, the bank used to be on the park side of the bank as the river curved around the outside bend. It used to have all kinds of brush, and we did a whole lot of dodging and leaning in order to not affect any of that, and one hurricane, and it's all gone. If you go out there now, you can walk and you can see the river. So it's nicer in the sense that we could see the river a little bit more, but it took out all of the brush and it rerouted the river just slightly, affecting our park.
Okay.
So.
All right. And when we met out there, we talked about taxpayer funding, whether it's from SPLOST or from the general fund, that we want to make sure we make the best decisions. So I think the practices that Mr. Kelichek talked about certainly would be wise in your department's efforts next time. So.
And again, if we had known it in hindsight, absolutely. Monday morning quarterbacks absolutely know which play to do. Unfortunately, in this case, that's kind of what we're experiencing. If we had known, we would have put it in a little different spot. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, I have a motion and a second.
No, we haven't done anything on this one. Do you want to vote on stop and
Let's
vote
go ahead
on
and
this?
vote
Okay.
on this one
All right.
then.
Madam Chair, I move to approve this requisition as presented.
This is 388, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, I second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Okay, item 389 is a requisition through the Chief Superior Court for Microgenics Corporation for the Accountability Lab Services for Reagents and Non-Consumables in an amount not to exceed $75,000 for DUI drug testing. This is through the DUI Drug Testing Lab Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 390 is a requisition through the Stormwater Department for Vulcan Materials Company for riprap, stone, and aggregate base and as-needed basis not to exceed $75,350. This is through the Stormwater Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 391 is a requisition through the General Services Department for Floor Creations for supply and install for the new LVP flooring for offices, hallways, and break rooms at Viewpoint Health Building in the amount of $37,500. This is through the General Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 392 is through the Water Resources Department for engineering strategies to provide design services to extend multiple water main extensions. The amount is $97,885. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. And item 393 is a requisition through the Parks and Recreation Department for court makers for 2 pair of tennis court resurfacing and armor crack repair in the amount of $35,950. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item. Would you like to take these items?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to pull item 390 out and discuss that separately?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I move to approve items 389, 391, 92, and 93.
I second the motion on those.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. And then going back to item 390.
Okay.
Well, I did want to speak with them in reference to options for this riprap. I don't know if you're sure.
So, yeah, I was going to mention too. I know this is a not to exceed, so feel free. Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners. Madam Chair, good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone. Let me speak to that. First of all, I'm going to preface this by saying George Chelicek is a valued resource to my department. He provides countless information. He always keeps us on the edge in regards to emerging technologies. So, great person. I appreciate his passion, and I'm always willing to take a look at what he brings to my office and that information. However, in the meantime, in regards to my stormwater operation and my repairs, I just wanted to really talk to you about this. Securing contracts for various aggregates, such as gravel, riprap, stone, it is essential to my department. Having established contracts ensures financial stability, meaning that during an emergency, a road blows out in a one-way in, one-way out subdivision, I don't have time to be running around pricing materials to try to find it to get that road back open. I need to have those materials on hand and ready to go. Also, during an emergency situation, I'll end up paying more for aggregates than if, I had it already under contract. I've worked very hard with purchasing and I work together on these contracts. We put a lot of work into getting these contracts secured and brought to you all for your vote. A lot of work goes into it. This readiness is critical for a timely response to all of the drainage issues and things that we deal with as a department. So I would ask you to reconsider that, because public safety, protecting citizens' property, protecting these roadways is of utmost importance. I will get with Mr. Chelicek and I'll go look at that technology, but the work we do, repairing these pipes according to Georgia DOT specs, which we use, we have to bed pipes a certain way when we're installing and repairing. We need this aggregate to do that.
So let me ask you a question in reference to what you just said. Are you not open to building relationships with other providers?
Oh, very much so.
Okay, it just didn't come off that way.
Very open
Okay.
to it, and I welcome. He is a wealth of knowledge, and I welcome him every time he brings me something, and we'll definitely take a look at it. But in the meantime, we have to make sure that we're ready. With these rains, the way they come through here, you never know when we're going to have something to go down, and we need to be ready to respond.
So being ready would also include seeing if you can partner with another company. It doesn't
Sure,
take that long. I'm
sure.
sure people want business, so it wouldn't
Sure, that's
put
no
you off a long
problem.
time. Okay.
Totally open to that.
It's just another tool in your tool belt.
That's it.
So,
That's it.
So what I'm hearing is you really need this contract approved today because it provides the materials that you
Yes.
need. And it's a standing contract, so if there's an emergency.
Right.
We've been having a lot of rain, a lot of flooding issues.
Right. A lot of rain events. So, there was one.
This solves this current need.
Right.
And then there's time after that to go ahead and research and look at other options.
Madam Commissioner, yes, it is. During one recent event, I had to go begging Director Kelly for materials, you know what I'm saying? And when I have to do that, I end up having to take him to lunch and stuff. So, you know, I really need that. I can't be tracking him down, begging him every time I have an issue. So.
Okay. So I move then that we approve this requisition 390 as presented.
Okay. And I second that motion. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, is there anyone opposed? Are you opposed? Did you
I
say
am
aye?
opposed to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay, item 394 is a requisition through the Transportation Department for ACOM Technical Services. This is for on-call general engineering design services to support future project activities. The amount is $100,000. This is SPLOST funded and is a budgeted item.
Madam Chair, I move. Are you going or are we stopping here?
We could do this one and then the
Okay.
next two expenditure requests together if the board's good with that.
All right, Madam Chair, I move to approve this requisition as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. You are welcome to do the next two together. if
All
you'd
right,
like.
thank you. So item 395 is an expenditure request through the Georgia Department of Natural Resources through the Water Resources Department for the annual drinking water fees. The amount is $16,170. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item. Item 396 is an expenditure request through the Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District for the Water Resources Department for annual dues for 2026. The amount is $23,392.50. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item.
So I move to approve these expenditure requests as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 397 is rezoning case 2025-06, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended by rezoning 1405 Southwest Smyrna Road, 1375 Southwest Smyrna Road, 1901 Southwest Flat Shoals Road, Still Meadow Road, 1301 Southwest Still Meadow Road, and 1320 Southwest Still Meadow Road from R1 Single Family Residential to CRS Collaborative Residential Subdivision. To impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading this morning.
I move to defer this ordinance until the next regularly scheduled BOC voting session.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries, and I have abstained from the vote.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that I think there's some information that we can do a deeper dive on still on this rezoning issue to answer some questions that some of the citizens had. We talked last night, I talked with some of the citizens last night. You know, they're not so much concerned about the capacity of the schools as they are classroom sizes, and so I suggested to them that I would find out exactly what the teacher-student ratio is, because it's normally set at a certain level, and find out what that is. They were also concerned about the services at the hospital. I assured them that I would look into what the hospital's plan is for as we have a growing population. There was also some concern. One of our deputies lived in that subdivision, was concerned about being able to keep up with the needs of the community in terms of public safety and crime prevention. So I think as we're looking at the budget, we need to probably look at that and see how that works. And I noticed with the impact fees, it didn't cover law enforcement, it only covered fire safety. So I think there's some deeper discussions that need to happen with that. Let me see, I have some notes. There were other concerns, but including fire safety, concerns about not having enough engines to cover the different subdivisions. And I know we talked in the budget hearings last week about beginning planning for Station 11. So personally for me, I just need some time to look through some of these things more in depth than I had.
Okay. Well, I recommend deferring to provide additional environmental impacts studies and transportation alternatives. And also, in my opinion, this development does not align with our commitment to sustainable connected growth and could impose undue burdens on our community infrastructure and natural resources. Further evaluation is needed to ensure compliance with our UDO conservation requirements and to address the significant environmental and transportation concerns raised by the residents and supported by our transportation study that they presented to us.
Okay. All right, so I have a motion and a second.
I think we already voted.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
my apologies.
That's okay.
All right.
We
Thank
good
you.
to move on? Okay. Item 398 is a text amendment case 2025-09, an ordinance to amend section 214-7 of the Code of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended and incorporate section 214-14 to become and be made a part of the Code of Rockdale County, Georgia so as to establish minimum architectural design standards for residential uses, to provide for an effective date and for other purposes. This is submitted for a first reading.
I move to approve the first read and refer this ordinance to the Planning Commission.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 399, or do you want me to wait a minute? You want me to wait or keep going? Okay.
Keep going.
Item 399 is an ordinance amending Chapter 66 of Subpart A in Part 1 of the Code of Rockdale County, Georgia, providing updates to the Rockdale County Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions Ordinance. This is submitted for a first reading. However, if it's unanimous, the board may waive the second reading this morning.
Okay.
I move to approve the first reading and waive the second reading and adopt this ordinance as presented.
Could we have a little discussion about it first? I'd like to
Sure.
hear more about what we're talking.
I think we actually, from the Sheriff's Department, Sergeant Lee Thomas would like to come and speak.
Okay.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Major Lee Thomas.
Oh, Major. I'm going to get that right.
Keep trying it. We'll get it right eventually.
All right.
Yes, this ordinance will develop what we call a dive ordinance
Oh, that's.
within Rockdale County. The city has a dive ordinance. We don't have one, and for those who don't know, I'll pull it up real quick. I have it here.
If you would like, Major, I could read the definition while you're speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, like a teamwork here.
And the
So-
dive, and she'll read the definition of
I'll
what
be
a
more
dive
than
is.
happy to. It would be, a dive is defined as any place or establishment where legal alcoholic beverages are sold without a proper license or permit, or illegal alcoholic beverages or other illegal drugs are found, possessed, kept, or sold, or illegal gambling activities are conducted.
So what that allows us to do, it gives us the opportunity, because there are establishments and places that are starting to pop up in Rockdale, all over the state of Georgia, actually. And they're not permitted, they're not licensed to be running these types of establishments. This type of ordinance gives us the, so to say, the right and opportunity to go in and start closing and shutting these places down, issuing citations, and eventually putting them completely out of business. These have been set up in rental places. They've been set up in homes.
Mm-hmm.
And we need this ordinance in order for us to go in and to affect the law and start to shut these things down in our county, because they are unsafe, and unsafe activities goes on in these areas and locations.
I think this is a great move for the Sheriff's Department and for the benefit of our citizens. I know that through the years this has been a challenge, and so I'm glad that we've found a way to address that in a little bit easier manner. So thank you for your efforts.
Thank you.
All right.
So I second the motion that was made
Okay.
earlier.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 400 is surplus of equipment through the Technology Services Department. And just as a reminder, the website for surplus of equipment can be found at www.govdeals.com.
Madam Chair, I move to declare these items as surplus as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 401 are amendments to the Rockdale County Employee Classification and Pay Plan through the Human Resources Department. A is stormwater with the Development and Operations Manager for reclassification. B is Water Resources for Administrative Manager for reclassification. And C is to the Human Resources Department for the Deputy Director reclassification.
So I move to approve these amendments as presented.
I second the motion.
But
I have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Yes, could we hear a review about those?
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, the three items before you, with the stormwater, it's a reclass of the Development and Operations Manager. That position will be reclassed to an Erosion and Settlement Control Specialist. The second one, which is the Administrative Manager, that position will be reclassed to a Business Administration Manager. The reclass for that position is really to be more in line with the roles and responsibility for that position. So they will be taking on additional responsibilities in that role. The third one is the reclass of one of the deputies for Human Resources to become a divisional manager, again aligning the hierarchy and the organizational structure within the department. So those are the three reclasses before you today.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
good. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say nay. The motion carries.
Item 402 is a requisition through the General Services Department for prime contractors for the Tennis Center Pro Shop expansion. The amount is $138,075. 78.28% is impact fee funded, 21.72% is SPOS funded, and this is a budgeted item.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the requisition as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? All in
No,
favor
ma'am.
say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 403 is with Napoli Sholnick for the Board of Commissioners Office for the opioid master settlement agreement Sandoz revenue. Its percentage of the net recovered to be paid by Sandoz to resolve claims to all settling subdivisions.
I move to approve this contract as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second, and I did want to see if we could have somebody present what the plan is for this contract.
So this was requested by our attorney that's handling the opioid settlements. And so this is for us to participate in the settlement. And the expected amount that we will recover would be $120,000 from this particular one. That's estimated.
Okay, and who's going to be managing that funding?
So that is part of what the opioid, we have a committee that Brenda Ernst is leading. And so they have particular members, and she's going to come and provide an update at an upcoming meeting about what they're doing. But they actually have a committee. There's certain members that are required to be on that committee by the state. And so they meet and they discuss how the funds should be appropriated, and they vote on that. The first expenditure is actually for a software system that will help them in this. So, but they are, she is working on an update to come before the board.
Okay.
And she's
great.
with Stepping Up, right? You just said Brenda Ernest?
Brenda
Yes,
is
yes,
stepping up.
okay,
And
yes.
I was going to say, Brenda has done an outstanding job. She has taken this very seriously. She was very appalled that when she first took on this responsibility, to learn that other counties had just spent that money right away without ever really looking at the needs and how they focused
and would benefit the citizens the most. And so I just wanted to point that out, that she's doing a great job.
All right, very
Yes,
good.
So did we approve that contract?
You had a motion and a second.
Yes.
Let's vote.
All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Okay, item 404 is an appointment for the Rockdale County Fire Rescue Chief James Robinson to be appointed to the Region 3 EMS Council. The term is effective immediately and runs through June 30th, 2028.
Madam Chair, I move to approve this appointment as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Okay, item 405 is policy 2025-3-13 through the Rockdale County Department of Transportation fee schedule.
I move to approve the policy as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
So item 406 is with DRB Group Georgia LLC through the Water Resources Department. This is for the dedication of public water and sewer agreement for 163 and 169 Abbott Road Southwest, Conyers, Georgia, for 42.85 acres. And item 407 and 408 are similar agreements, so if we like me to read those and take all three of those together.
All three.
Okay, so item 407 is with Horizon Builder Group, formerly known as Green River Builders, through the Water Resources Department for the dedication of public water and sewer agreement and permanent sanitary sewer easement. This is for the Enclave at Parker Road Townhomes. Land lot 242 in the 10th District for Rockdale County, Georgia is 7.77 acres. And item 408 is with Leonard Georgia LLC through the Water Resources Department for the dedication of public water and sewer agreement for land lot 213 in the 16th District of Rockdale County, Georgia for 12.94 acres.
Madam Chair, I move to approve agreements 406, 407, 408 as presented.
I second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. All right, at this time, we have board comment. Commissioner Smith?
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. I just want to congratulate again our employees that have been with us those years that have been recognized today. Thank you so much again. And also to remind you of our constituent services that is held on Fridays with Congressman David Scott's office at the library on Fridays from 10 to 12. I went last week and there were a lot of people there. So thank you guys for taking advantage of that opportunity that we're presenting here in the county. And I would like to leave you with, if we want the rainbow, we have to put up with the rain. That's it.
It's a good one, actually.
I like that one. Okay, this was a busy weekend. I was able to attend several different events. Partnership for Community Action is based out of Restoration Storehouse. They had an event passing out book bags, having activities for kids. Had a chance to talk with the executive director of Restoration Storehouse, Dr. Hughes, for a few minutes about the progress and the things that are going on there. That was well attended, and it was a nice event. Then the House of Fire Community Impact Center hosted its annual Boots on the Ground Back to School Bash. This is all from that one. It's designed to support students and families in preparation and launching for the school supply for the new school year. They did a backpack giveaway. They had gift cards and iPad giveaways. They had horseback riding and hay riding. I hadn't been on a horse since I was in college, so it brought back a whole lot of memories from the last time I was on a horse. Of course, this time they were, guiding the horse along, and involved community engagement part. Then also there was an event over at the Harley-Davidson in their parking lot. the Teal Pack experience, which was also a back-to-school wellness event. And it focused on equipping students with the essentials that they needed to start the school year. They partnered with Backpack Healthcare, which provides free resources and services and supports local families. They gave away free clear book bags. They had hygiene kits. They did free haircuts. They had access to, there were a lot of local organizations offering services and providing resources. And then they had some giveaways also. So it was a big back to school weekend. Also, Overdose Awareness Month is August, and it is in full swing. The official color for overdose awareness is purple, and if you've been by the courthouse and the administration buildings, the evening lights are purple in honor and recognition of that. Purple, the colors are actually purple and silver gray, and the purple represents mourning for those who are lost to overdose, at a call to action to prevent future overdoses. The silver or gray is sometimes used alongside the purple to represent the struggle and hope of those affected by substance use, which obviously includes those left behind and family members and loved ones and friends. Overdose, especially from opioids, has had a significant and growing impact on the community in Rockdale County and across the United States as well. Overdose affects every corner of our community. In part of what we can do to make a difference is remembering those we've lost, support those who are still struggling, and raise awareness to prevent future tragedies. The Rockdale Stepping Up Initiative is hosting their annual International Overdose Awareness Day event, which will be August 28th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Conyers First Methodist Church. And you can show your support by wearing purple or wear a purple ribbon, use purple lighting at your home or business, attend local awareness events, share the message, and learn how to recognize and respond to an overdose. As part of our emergency training, we have been trained on using Narcan, which is a very effective antidote to opioid overdoses. I carry Narcan in my car, just like part of my first aid kit. So every action, big or small, helps break the stigma and helps to save lives. And then fourth is our Memory Cafe that we talked about earlier. The kickoff is tomorrow from 3 to 5 over at the JP Carr Community Center. So those are my comments.
Very good, thank you. And as part of my comments, I'm going to have Director Will Barkley come up and explain a little bit about his role as tax assessor and address the 1.5% that was mentioned earlier. So,
all right, good morning, Madam Commissioners. My name is Will Barkley. I'm the Chief Appraiser for the Rockdale Board of Assessors. The Board of Assessors' main function is to value all property within Rockdale County at its fair market value. We're dedicated to determining the fair market value by looking at all of the sales and any other market conditions that create what we deem as far as information that help determine the valuation. So by doing that, it is our responsibility to provide you that information. What this does is that this ensures that we create a digest that is accurate and that is fair. And by creating this accurate and fair digest, it gives you guys the tools that y'all need in order to create a millage rate that is suitable for all of the taxpayers within the county. We want to treat everyone fair. We want them to pay their own fair share. So we take great pride in trying to create this digest. So part of the number that was mentioned earlier, the effective tax rate, normally that's utilized with income producing and commercial properties. However, it does not take in consideration of how the impact of the host, knowing that there are only 2 counties in the state of Georgia that has the host exemption, Rockdale County and DeKalb County. I think DeKalb has modified theirs to create what we call the e-host. So they're just slightly different. But we have the host that takes a good portion of the county maintenance operation off. So it's important to know that, because what a homeowner would pay in property taxes would be slightly different if they didn't have the homestead exemption. So that's something important to keep, to make aware of. And I'm glad that I'm here today because we got great news this morning. I'm not sure if you guys have checked your email.
I did. No.
If you check your email, the Georgia Department of Revenue submitted their annual findings. We're audited each year by the Georgia Department of Revenue. And their findings for this year is that we have a perfect ratio for Rockdale County as far as based on what properties are selling for and based on what we're valuing them at. There's only 12 counties in 159 counties that has a perfect ratio, and Rockdale County is one of those. So I'm very proud of my staff, of the work that we've done, and just the hard work of trying to stay abreast of what the market is dictating. Everybody who's in real estate knows that the market fluctuates quite a bit. So we are trying to stay in front of that. Now, as far as the statement, as far as about making adjustments after we've established the value, that is not part of Georgia law. It does not allow me to go through and make changes based on what market conditions are doing after January 1st. January 1st is the actual valuation date. Every piece of property has to be valued based on January 1st. So whatever happened after that, those adjustments occur within the next year. So we look at sales that have occurred in 2024 to determine what the valuation is going to be for January 1st of 2025. So that's how that process works.
Can you also explain, sometimes there's confusion with the host. So if you have homestead exemption, which someone could apply for in your office, that means that you reside full-time in the home and you own the home. Can you talk about the language that's sometimes used, like, please give us 100% of the host?
Okay, sure. What we've looked at as far as with the host exemption, the county collects an extra penny sales tax as far as for the host. So every penny that they collected, they attributed 100% of that towards the host. However, that wasn't enough dollars to come in that was going to offset what the percentage was going to be for that particular host. Last year, I think they collected around $24 million.
Correct.
They needed $44 million in order to fully offset whatever the county and maintenance for that particular homeowners. What you're going to find as we get more people coming into the community and the values are increasing, that requires more tax dollars in order to offset the host. So that's a difficult balance. So if we have more spending, maybe we'll see a bigger amount within that exemption.
Correct.
Hopefully I'm clear on that.
For instance, if we collect 24 million and we give 100% of host, then what is the language for that?
If you collected 24 million, you can only give 50% for the host, but you're going to give them everything you collected. You're going to give them 100% of everything you collected. However, it's only 50% of what's going to offset what is required.
Because the budget's grown.
Because the budget has grown, and because the values have gone up as well. So
and we could have more people that claim homestead exemption.
Right.
And can you talk about your plan to address homestead exemption?
Right.
Okay.
We are looking for 2026, we're looking to do what we call a homestead audit. We want to go through and we want to make sure that everyone who's entitled to the homestead exemption is receiving the exemption that they're entitled to. So we're going to partner with some outside sources to come in and help us as far as to look to find just to make certain that everybody is getting the exemption they're entitled to. If you're not entitled to it or you have duplicate exemptions, we want to remove those to make sure that everyone is getting what they deserve to get.
And in the state of Georgia, it's illegal for you to live in another community and claim homestead here.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you for your
You're
time
welcome.
and explanation. All right, I have a couple of comments and information for the citizens. We are having a Veterans Day parade, and we're very excited about this opportunity in Rockdale. It will be on Saturday, November 8th at 2 p.m. And we have already had a lot of interest for people that want to participate in the parade. They are welcome to contact me directly if groups want to participate. At my email address at the county, which is janice.vanness@rockdalecountyga.gov. And the committee for that is going to continue meeting. So if people are interested in joining the planning process, we'd be happy to have them. I'd also like to note that this afternoon I will go with Director Brian Kelly, our Rockdale Department of Transportation Director, and Governmental Affairs Director Jennifer Rutledge to meet with the Commissioner of the Georgia Department of Transportation, Russell McMurray, to discuss Rockdale's transportation programs and things, as well as the status for the projects we have going on right now, which include Highway 138, Salem Road, and the Courtesy Parkway Bridge, and as always looking for more funding opportunities for Rockdale County. Additionally, I want to thank our finance team for their outstanding job during the budget process. They were very diligent about the work that they did, and I want to also commend Interim Director Sue Sanders for the organization and process that occurred. I hope citizens will take time to listen to some of those budget hearings for more information. And Sue is probably on a weekly basis used to me saying, "Are you sure we have to spend that?" So we are really working collectively, not just in the BOC, but across the team to make sure we do our best. So a special thank you as well to every director and deputy director that are helping hold the line and doing your best. So I appreciate it.
And those budget presentations are online now. They're on the finance page under budget.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. I know a lot of people would be interested in that. And we hope the, transparent process will help people better understand where the dollars are going. And so now at this time, is there a need for executive session?
Yes, Madam Chair, for the purpose of discussing personnel, land acquisition, and pending and threatened litigation.
Okay.
So I make a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel, land acquisition, and pending and threatening litigation.
I second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, and with that, this meeting is adjourned.